Good day viewers, welcome to another edition of the Daily Strange Stories. I'm John Brown. I hope you've had a productive and fulfilling week. Now, let's dive into the strange and unusual. Our lead story for today: 1 million rand bribe every month. Matlala exposes how corrupt Senzo Mchunu and Sibiya are. Is South Africa's justice system for sale? That's the chilling question at the heart of a developing scandal that could shake the nation to its core. This isn't your typical political scandal, it's a true crime saga with real-life consequences. Our story centers around Vusimuzi Matlala, a businessman accused of heinous crimes, who claims to have bought influence with some of the country's most powerful figures, including former police minister Senzo Mchunu and Deputy National Commissioner Shadrack Sibiya. The Madlanga Commission has heard explosive testimony about alleged monthly bribes reaching 1 million rand, and a 500,000 rand contribution to a presidential campaign. But what's even more disturbing is the alleged existence of a Big Five cartel, a shadowy network operating within the SAPS, pulling the strings from behind the scenes. This is a story of alleged greed, corruption, and the potential collapse of South Africa's justice system. At the center of today's story is Matlala, a man facing serious charges including attempted murder, conspiracy to commit murder, fraud, and efforts to obstruct justice. These accusations stem from events that allegedly took place in Johannesburg between October the 12th and 17th, 2023, where Matlala is said to have plotted against his socialite girlfriend Tebok Tsobejane and two others. Alongside his wife Tsagani Matlala, Nithabisingzama, Musagegana, Ntleko Floyd Mabusela, he also stands accused in connection with the April 2024 killing of Q-Tech engineer Amon Swart in Vereeniging, with Gatiso Molefe named as a co-accused. But Matlala's troubles extend far beyond these charges. He is identified as a key member of the so-called Big Five cartel, a criminal network deeply embedded within and around the South African Police Service, SAPS, as revealed by Crime Intelligence Head Lieutenant General Dumisani Khumalo during the commission proceedings. This cartel, with its tentacles reaching into various sectors, has been linked to influential figures like the late Pretoria taxi boss Johan Mswazamsibi, who passed away in January 2024. Msibi's death marked a turning point for Matlala's relationship with Sibiya. According to details shared in recordings played at the commission, Matlala first connected with Sibiya through Msibi, spending time at the taxi boss's heavily secured farm. After Msibi's passing, Sibiya reportedly approached Matlala, emphasizing their newfound isolation without the old man, as Msibi was known. It was in this context that Sibiya allegedly made a direct request for financial support, framing it as a mutual arrangement where Matlala would provide for him, and in return, Sibiya would offer protection or favors. The alleged payments to Sibiya form a core part of this unfolding narrative, with claims of substantial cash transfers occurring on multiple occasions. One such instance involved a 2 million rand handout for Sibiya to purchase a plot in Midrand, intended for development into a bed and breakfast registered under his wife's name. Matlala described the handover as straightforward. He drove into Sibiya's estate in Sandton, extended the cash from his car window, and Sibiya accepted it directly. This same Sandton estate is notable for housing other prominent figures, including well-known fixer Serge Kabonge. Adding to the intrigue, Matlala claimed he also funded the acquisition of 20 impalas for this property, though those animals have since perished, leaving behind questions about the true purpose and management of these funds. Beyond this large sum, the Commission has heard accounts of ongoing monthly payments from Matlala to Sibiya, escalating to as much as 1 million rand each time Matlala received disbursements from a lucrative SAPS tender. These payments were reportedly insisted upon in cash only, with Sibiya avoiding any electronic trails that could be traced. To facilitate this, Matlala allegedly used an intermediary, Sergeant F.E. Nkosi from the National Organized Crime Unit under Sibiya's command. Nkosi is said to have transported the cash directly to Sibiya and even had access to one of Sibiya's bank accounts for related transactions. In one detailed example, Matlala recounted delivering 200,000 rand to Sibiya's national office, leaving the money in the bathroom as instructed, purportedly to help Matlala gain access to a police clinic essential for fulfilling his tender obligations. The tender in question, valued at 360 million rand, was awarded to Matlala's company, Medicare 24 Tshwane District, where he served as the sole director at the time. This 3-year contract for health risk management services came under scrutiny amid broader investigations, including a nearly 3 billion rand probe by the Special Investigating Unit into questionable contracts at Tembisa Hospital, which had been flagged by whistleblower Babita Deokaran before her tragic death. Despite these red flags, the contract was initially granted during the tenure of former Police Minister Payoffs, who has acknowledged staying overnight at Matlala's penthouse in January 2025. However, under Mchunu's watch, the contract faced re-evaluation. National Police Commissioner General Fanny Masemola testified that for days after media reports highlighted irregularities in the awarding process, Mchunu directed a review. This led to discoveries of fraud, corruption, and service delivery failures, culminating in the contract's cancellation on May 13, 2025, just one day before Matlala's arrest. Matlala's arrest itself added layers to this saga. On May 14, 2025, at the Boksburg police station, Matlala was taken into custody after his speeding vehicle hit a pothole, puncturing a tire. He claimed to have been returning from a visit to the home of former National Police Commissioner Raya Pieka, though Pieka has firmly denied ever meeting him or hosting him. Prior to formal charges, Matlala expressed a desire to speak informally with investigators from the Organized Crime Unit and the Elite Political Killings Task Team, PKTT. It was during this 5 to 6 hour recorded session that many of these allegations surfaced, with excerpts later played at the Madlanga Commission on October 30, 2025. In these recordings, Matlala portrayed Sibiya as someone deeply motivated by financial gain, describing him as a figure who would drop everything at the mention of money. Another specific payment highlighted was 300,000 rand given to Sibiya during his son's wedding celebration. Matlala arrived at the event in a Rolls-Royce, handing over the cash as a contribution, noting that the festive atmosphere made his presence less suspicious. He explained withdrawing larger amounts, such as 500,000 rand, and then delivering a portion like 300,000 rand to Sibiya. These accounts underscore a pattern of cash drops at various locations, including Sibiya's home and office, all aimed at securing favors or protection within the SAPS hierarchy. The connections extend to other senior officers as well. Major General Feroz Khan, head of counterintelligence at Crime Intelligence, allegedly demanded 2.5 million rand from Matlala, though only 500,000 rand was paid. The reasons for this demand remain unclear, but Khan is said to have made frequent visits to Matlala's penthouse in Pretoria, requesting funds sporadically starting from May 2025. Similarly, Major General Richard Shibiri, head of the SAPS Organized Crime Unit, reportedly received 80,000 rand from Matlala to fund a party celebrating his promotion. This payment was initially attempted through a company called Black aka Trading, but after Shibiri expressed dissatisfaction, Matlala reversed the transfer and provided the amount in cash instead. Turning to Mchunu, the allegations tie into his political aspirations within the ANC. Witness C, an anonymous PKTT member who has gone into hiding due to threats stemming from investigations into the Armand Swart case, testified that Matlala contributed 500,000 rand in January 2025 to support Mchunu's bid for the ANC presidency. This donation reportedly covered flight tickets and accommodation for delegates attending the party's 113th anniversary at Mandela Park Stadium in Khayelitsha, Cape Town, on January 11, 2025. The funds were channeled through Brown Mukhotsi, an ANC information peddler acting as a middleman between Matlala and Mchunu.
The evidence has been found in the cell phone of Mr. Vusimuzi, also known as Cat Matlala, which shows the communication between Mr. Brown Mukhotsi and the Minister of Police, Mr. Senzo Mchunu. As I said, this was the beginning of the closure of the political task team. Further analysis of the chats indicates that Vusimuzi Cat Matlala is financially supporting the Minister of Police and Mr. Brown Mukhotsi's political endeavors. This is supported by the evidence of conversation and the proof of payments of guests for January 8 traveling cost and the Ghana dinner in Cape Town. This was done in 2025. The proof of payment, we have it. As I said, we're going to share with you where Mr. Matlala is sending this proof of payment to Mr. Brown Mukhotsi. On the 2nd of January 2025, at about 10:05 in the morning, Vusimuzi Matlala receives a copy of the letter of the disbandment of the political killings task team from Mr. Brown Mokhotsi, who is an associate with the Minister of Police.
Mokhotsi had earlier requested at least 250,000 rand from Matlala for activities around the ANC's birthday celebrations, building on this network of influence. Matlala's frustration grew evident in his statements. He felt used by Mchunu, Sibiya, and Mokhotsi, having provided financial support without receiving the expected protection from ongoing investigations. For instance, after a raid on his home on December 6, 2024, Matlala claimed he received direct assistance from Mchunu and his security team, who allegedly used grabber machines to identify the SAPS members involved in the investigation. Despite this, no substantial help materialized when Matlala sought to open cases against the PKTT and the Independent Police Investigative Directorate (IPID), both of which are still under review. Matlala believed these cases were intended to sideline opponents of Mchunu and Sibiya. Communications between Matlala and these figures often occurred via WhatsApp and Signal, adding a layer of secrecy to their interactions. In one account, Matlala recalled Sibiya's words after Msibi's death, an appeal to take care of him in exchange for mutual benefits. Yet, Matlala expressed betrayal, noting that despite funding Mchunu's campaign and providing ongoing support to Sibiya, his 360 million rand tender was cancelled, and investigations into his activities persisted. He described Mchunu as someone who bites while smiling, highlighting the perceived duplicity. The Madlanga Commission has also delved into Matlala's broader dealings. During the informal interview, he mentioned receiving advice from Mchunu, Sibiya, and Mokhotsi to fabricate a theft case involving a Rolex and Cartier watch supposedly taken during the December 2024 raid, though this never led to a registered case since the items were not actually stolen. Additionally, Matlala claimed involvement from Lesecha Senona, head of the KwaZulu-Natal Hawks, in helping secure the health services tender, though specifics on how this occurred remain vague. As these testimonies progress, the Commission is analyzing Matlala's numerous bank accounts, which show significant activity. While no complete paper trail has been established yet for all payments, the ongoing review aims to uncover more evidence. Sibiya has admitted knowing Matlala but denies any improper ties, and Mchunu has rejected any relationship with him.
The police have been put in this terrible situation, into disrepute, and the damage, all the hard work and been thrown in the dustbin. And I'm looking forward to clearing my name, and I'm asking South Africans to look at it as it comes. We will testify. Yeah. South Africans will make their own judgment. But I do have paperwork and Ginaval.
The hearings, resuming on November 3, 2025, continue to peel back layers of this complex network. This narrative reveals how alleged bribes and favors may have compromised key institutions, from police tenders to political campaigns. Matlala's sense of betrayal peaked after the tender cancellation, leading him to threaten exposing Mchunu in court through an affidavit challenging the decision. He even referenced messages with Mokhotsi as proof of his contributions and unfulfilled promises of meetings with the minister. In the recordings, Matlala voiced concerns for his safety, aware that his revelations could invite risks. The Big Five cartel's influence appears pervasive, with Matlala positioned as a financier whose resources were tapped for personal gains by those in power. His alleged payments to Sibiya included not just the monthly sums but also specific aids, like the 200,000 rand for clinic access tied to the tender. Witness C emphasized Matlala's repeated descriptions of Sibiya as someone entangled in these dealings, underscoring the depth of their interactions. Expanding on the tender's backstory, it was awarded under questionable circumstances in June 2024, despite Matlala's involvement in major fraud probes. The SIU's investigation into Timbisa hospital contracts highlighted systemic issues, and the Hawks' broader corruption inquiry targeted Matlala directly. Masemola's testimony noted that the cancellation followed a 103-day delay after initial findings, aligning precisely with Matlala's arrest timeline. Matlala's WhatsApp exchanges with Mokhotsi further illustrate the fundraising efforts from Mchunu. Multiple requests for funds were made, including for delegates' travel to the ANC's January 8 celebration, though Mchunu failed to deliver on arranging direct meetings. Matlala's sponsorship covered practical needs like flights and lodging, framing his contribution as essential to Mchunu's campaign push. In another facet, Matlala detailed how Sergeant Ngosi acted as a conduit, using bank card details to manage transfers. This intermediary role highlights the structured nature of these alleged payments, designed to minimize detection. The wedding contribution, delivered amid celebrations, exemplifies how such transactions were camouflaged within social events. Khan's demands and partial payment add to the roster of implicated officials, with his visits to Matlala's penthouse suggesting a pattern of ongoing extortion. Sibiya's promotion party funding, shifted from electronic to cash after complaints, mirrors the preference for untraceable methods. Matlala's post-raid experiences reveal attempts to manipulate legal processes. The referral to a heightened crime intelligence kernel for opening cases against investigators points to internal maneuvering. His frustration culminated in the May 2025 arrest, where he spilled these details, feeling abandoned despite his investments. The Commission's playback of recordings brings authenticity to these claims, capturing Matlala's outrage over the tender cancellation. He attributed it to his refusal to pursue charges against the investigating team, seeing it as retaliation from Mchunu. As this story continues to develop, it raises profound questions about accountability in South Africa's police and political landscapes. The alleged infiltration by the Big Five, facilitated by figures like Matlala, suggests a system where money buys influence, but eroding public trust in the process. What do you think? Could these revelations lead to real changes in how corruption is tackled within the SAPS and ANC, or will powerful figures continue to evade consequences? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and let's discuss if exposing such networks is enough to restore faith in our institutions. Thanks for watching this news bulletin. Please share your opinion in the comments section. We would be glad to read and respond to your comments. Let's meet again tomorrow in our next strange story. Wishing you an exciting and adventurous weekend.